Appreciate everybody being here. Wow, seems like time has flown. We've been going for about a week and a half or so. And one thing about our basketball team right now, I like the mentality of our team. It's a very scrappy, aggressive basketball team. Our freshmen have shown some toughness that I haven't seen from freshmen in a while, as far as a core group. That's been fun to watch. We are leaning on 4 veteran players that have a lot of experience, starting with Michael Cobbins, fifth-year senior, LeBron Nash, senior, Anthony Hickey, senior, and obviously Phil Forte, four experienced guys who our team is going to rely on. And they're going to be obviously very important pieces to our basketball team, and our team is done a great job thus far learning from those 4 guys. Leighton Hammonds and Jeff Carroll, 2 guys who are also returning, are both much improved, have gotten better. Leighton Hammonds especially. When we grade out practice every day, we grade it out every day and then we total it. Leighton Hammonds is graded out at the top right now. He's affecting the game in a lot of ways, and that's what we need from him. We got a lot of balanced depth. I've been talking a lot about depth, but our depth is balanced. I'm not saying it's proven depth. I'm not saying it's depth that we got about 10 great players right now, but we got guys that when we substitute, we don't lose a whole lot right now, in certain areas. We've got to get everybody better. We've got to continue to get everybody better. It's probably the quickest team I've coached since I've been at Oklahoma State. Very quick. And again, I reiterate, very aggressive basketball team, scrappy basketball team. It's been fun to coach them, I tell you that. It's been fun the last week and a half coaching these guys. We haven't had to coach effort. We have not had to coach egos. We have not had to coach anything like that. Everybody just seems very eager to get better. They seem eager to accept challenges. We have a long way to go. But it's to this point, it's been a fun group to coach.
Coach, you talk about that depth and that scrappiness and how quick they are. The players say they're maybe more like a family than they've ever been in the last couple of years. You add all that together, is this a team that can maybe sky's the limit by the end of the year as they learn and grow?
Well, yeah, you hear every coach say we're going to get better as the year goes, but that better be true for this team because we're not going to be gangbusters coming out. Now we need to win some games coming out, figure out how to win games as we're getting better. But yes, this is a close team, and I think it's close because there's not a lot of egos. There's not a lot of expectations. But as we've talked to our team a lot, we've had close teams before at this stage. Are you still going to be close in 2 months? That's the challenge, and that's what we're talking to our team a lot right now. If we continue with the attitude we have right now, then we've got a chance to have a pretty good basketball team. If any of that changes and there ever becomes selfishness, if there ever becomes anybody on our team thinking anything differently than what can they do to help our team, then we're not going to be a very good team. I mean, we don't have anybody on our team like that can, that we can sustain that. But as a core, as a group, as a whole, we like some things that we're doing that I think gives us a chance to be excited about our basketball team eventually. He's one of the best point guard defenders I've coached. Now, I've obviously just coached a pretty good one. I'm talking about this, and Marcus was one of the best defenders I've coached as well. But I'm talking about on the ball, off the ball, doing it. I mean, he can really guard the basketball. He's leading our team in steals by quite a few right now in total number as far as practice is concerned because he's really good off the ball. He's got a toughness about him. A great toughness about him that I didn't really know he had. I mean, he is a competitor, an extreme competitor. He's got a lot of toughness. Unselfish player. You're not heard different things. Watched tape. A lot of people thought he shot too much, and that we hadn't had that problem at all as of right now. Seems to me what I like about him is his toughness. I like his competitiveness. I like his defensive ability to change a game. But more than anything, I've liked this part is his coachability. He seems to really just say, "All right, I want to prove to everybody, whatever you've heard from me from the past, I want to make this work. I want to become a better player. I want to, tell me whatever to do, coach, and I'm going to try to do it." And he's had that attitude to this point. So that part I probably like the most. He's really tried to adapt. Now, every day's a new challenge, so hopefully we continue that. But he's been very coachable, and really tried to fit in with the team and passing and getting guys involved, which is not easy for a senior point guard who started for 3 years at another high-level school. A lot of them would maybe try to come in here and say, "This is my senior year. I'm going to show everybody how great I am." He's really tried to get everybody involved and just play off. He's really, Phil, teach me. LB, show me how things are done here, And I've been impressed with that. It's surprising me a little bit. Depends on what day it is. Okay. Some days we're lights out. Some days we can't make a basket. I'll be honest. I would have thought going into it, I look at my team and I would say, hey, we got a chance to be a pretty good shooting team. You'd find teams. And I'm not saying we're not yet, but I think the jury's still out. We have some we have some really good shooters on our team. We've got to become more consistent in that area. But with that said, these first 10 days, whatever we've been going practices, we've focused mostly on defense. We really have. So we haven't probably given our offense a chance to click as much as we need to. Days where we have kind of allowed them to play and just not break down drills, because when you're doing breakdown drills in practice, it's tough to get in the flow. And we do a lot of breakdown drills right now. But we do pick days where, all right, we're gonna play and teach. Those days we've knocked down some shots, and we've been able to do it. So the jury's still out, but we have the potential to be a pretty good shooting team at times.
When you get Collins back and you pick his defense, when people would make preseason predictions, they generally make them based on returning offense or tradition or whatever. Is there a chance you can surprise people by being a much better defensive team?
Well, I hope we're going to surprise people where we're picked, so I hope we are. I don't think there is any question that our identity is going to be defense. This could be the best defensive team I've coached ever. We have that ability. We've got the makeup of that. I think we got the toughness for that. We got some guys that can protect the rim for that. We've got some guys that can pressure the ball for that. We've got guys who understand what to do defensively. So, yes, I think this could be our best defensive team. Coming out of my staff meeting 15 minutes ago, and we're scrimmaging today later, our offense has to complement our defense. Right now, we're going to have to figure out where different offense is going to come from, how we're going to score our points. We're still figuring all that out. But right now, defensively, we've been pretty good in practice. It's been fun to watch because, again, it's a scrappy, aggressive group. And, I mean, they get on the floor. They are competing, and that part I like. So, yes, definitely I think we have a chance because our defense could be pretty good. After the very first day of practice, we went to a day on the first practice, or on the first day. After the very end of the day, after 2 practices, I turned to everybody, I said, I knew when we lost him, but now I even understand why. Michael Cobbins brings such a presence, a leadership, understanding of how we want things done, and understanding of how to play the game, and he's looked tremendous. He really has. He's given us that big man presence for our scoring, blocking shots, rebounding, and even more important maybe is he understands what we're trying to get done. And, we all knew when we lost him, it's going to hurt us. But watching him play again, realized it even more that, man, it was a tough break.
Coach, were you surprised when Brian Nash decided to come back? And
Well, I think he's been able to play his game every year. He's a kid, and I'm not surprised he came back because I think he had an incredible year last year. He shot 52% from the field, so I think he did a great job of that. I think what he's alluding to is we're putting him in different positions on the court to try to be effective. He has in the past couple of years probably played definitely more inside. Now, scoring close to the basket is his strength. We're not changing that, but we're just putting him in different positions to be able to do that. He's not going to be as much one-dimensional as he was when he was playing with different guys. From that standpoint, the bottom line is we're challenging LeBron Nash, who's been here for 3 years, to have the best year of his career, plain and simple. Take everything you've learned in 3 years, good, bad, whatever it may be, and put it all together, and what do you want this to be for you? And you're going to have the opportunity. Now, what are you going to make out of it? And he's been very good in practice. He's had dominating practices. Consistency is a big word, but he's lost some weight. I like that dedication and commitment. But yeah, we're putting him probably in more positions on the court. We've got to have him rebound better than he ever has, and defend better than he ever has. And that's going to be very, very important for him and for our basketball team. Very important.
Does he have a green light to shoot threes?
No. So
Does he know that? Does he have that information?
he's taken 3 threes in 10 days. So give you that example. And I'll be honest with you, I don't get into telling him he can or can't. I'm hoping I think he's mature enough and a veteran enough, you're a senior, to understand the strengths of your game, and he understands his strengths. He does get it. He gets it. Because I have not told him you can't take threes, and he's only taken 3. And because we chart any live action we play, whether it's 2-on-2, 3-on-3, any live, we chart every single thing: rebounds, deflections, steal, charges, shots, made shots, missed, threes, 2, everything. I don't care if it's not just 5-on-5. And out of all those drills, he's taken 3 threes. And, yeah, we're playing him a lot at the 3. But we're playing him a lot at the 3 to put him in different positions. He's still scoring close to the basket. We had a practice 3 days ago. He went for the practice in live action. It was either 16 for 18 or 14 for 16 in live action. Now, we need that to happen not once every 3 or 4 days. We need that to happen a lot. But he has that ability. And, again, people forget it. He did lead the league, I believe, in field goal percentage last year, 52%. And that's, and he wasn't taking easy shots, but they were where he needs to score from. So he realizes that. I'm proud of him in that, man. I'm very proud of him in that standpoint. The moment I see that changes, that's when I step up and say, hey, okay, well, we're not, but I haven't had to do that yet. I haven't had to say, don't do this. And now he'll practice threes out there when we're shooting shots and we're what we call 5-on-0 offense. He'll shoot threes. But when we start playing, he seems to understand his strengths. Oh, we're continuing to ask for more, but yeah, there was no question. From where he was as a freshman to now, he's gotten better as a player. He's grown and matured. There's no question about that. Yeah, absolutely.
This time last year, you were talking about the referees telling you about the new hand check rule. I'm just curious, how did that play out during the season, and is it going to be the same this year? Did they said they're going to change it?
It's going to be the same, but I didn't see it. I think we had 1 or 2 games where you had a lot of fouls called, but I didn't see it changing as much as I thought it would. But yeah, the rule hasn't changed. I think they have, as far as our standpoint, they have clarified it a little bit better, what you can and can't do. I think we better understand it. The block charge is been clarified more. I think that was an area that I was probably more confused about that than any other rule that we had. They have clarified that much better for us. So those 2 things are still into place. They have changed the block charge just a little bit, the rule, I think, just as far as the clarification. The other handshake, whatever you want to call it, the rules hasn't changed as far as how they've stated it. They've just kind of clarified. I think the block charge, maybe the wordings even might have changed a little bit.
Does that help emphasize education, especially with a team that you expect to be so good?
Yeah, I'm anxious to see. Today was first day we've got Big 12. We got referees here to referee our inter-squad game, and yeah, I'm sure things are going to change because we've been absolutely mauling each other. But that's fine. That's us. I mean, I'd rather be that way. That's what we need to. I like that aggressiveness, and our freshmen lead it at times. I mean, they're not afraid to stick their nose in there and compete against some of these other guys. And but today, I think we'll see where we're at a little bit as far as the handshake. But yeah, our team needs to be aggressive. We need to be aggressive.
Last year, a difficult year with the injury and the spotlight on politics and all of that, and the disciplinary issues. And it seemed like there was a lot of distractions.
There was. Obviously it didn't. In certain terms, obviously it didn't go as you would plan. But a lot of the things, as I call, a lot of human element came into play. It didn't go, but obviously it was going better than anybody planned early on. We got ranked high as 5th. We were 16 and 2 or 3, and that's preseason we weren't 5th, so we moved up and we're doing some great things. That beat some really good teams, and beating the Colorado and the Memphis, and lost to Memphis by a point or two, and won some big games. We were where we were hoping we would be, and maybe a little bit better than what people were even thinking we could be. And then the injury, Michael's injury happened. Then we had some distractions off the court that I had to deal with and make some decisions. And just human element. And then obviously, Marcus' deal. But all that, amazingly, we came out of it against a very tough stretch at the end of the year. Very tough stretch. Games we had to win, and it wasn't like we had to, they were against really good basketball teams. And played ourselves out of it. And I thought we were playing as well as anybody in America at the end of the year, except for maybe the Gonzaga game where there was no excuses. We just didn't play well, plain and simple. We played hard. We were prepared. They didn't do anything we didn't think they were going to do. They outplayed us, plain and simple. And they had a heck of a team. Went through this tough stretch, just human element. Just you don't want it to happen. You don't wish it could happen, but life, that happens sometimes. But I thought we learned from it. I think everybody involved, learned some valuable lessons that are going to help you in the future. And then we played ourselves out of it, which was exciting because it wasn't much fun there for a while. Yeah, well, I watched him and Markel. Markel was sick last night, but they played against each other last night. But I've watched it, and I talked to him quite a bit, both of them. Marcus is just what I told the Celtics what they were going to get, just an ultra competitor, a guy that can change the game defensively. He's going to be ready to go to play in the NBA physically. He's ready to play. And, as I talked to Mark, it's an adjustment period. Going from high school to college is an adjustment, and going from college to NBA is an adjustment. And the more he figures things out, even more of an impact he'll make. Both teams are overly excited. We had the Nets in here Saturday, in here watching our guys play, and they're just overly excited about Markel, just very excited about him. And same thing with the Celtics. They both love him, and I expect both those guys to have long careers in the NBA. No, that's been a popular. A lot of people have asked that. I think he's, obviously they played so well together. There's no denying that. There's no question. I think deep down, Phil's a little bit excited about the challenge of that. Sure, he would love to have Market, but I think he's excited about that challenge. That's his mentality. He's kind of got my mentality. Hey, I want to, he hears what everybody says. I'm gonna prove you wrong. So that is his mentality. And I'm not overly concerned about it. I think it's going to take a little time. I do. I don't think it happens overnight. And it's not because it's Marcus and Phil. It's because it's a new point guard. It could have been whoever at the point guard last year, and all of a sudden you've been playing with that point guard for 2 years. Just happened you've been playing with that point guard for 10, 12 years. It's a new point guard. They're all figuring out how to play with Anthony Hickey and Tyree Griffin, those guys, they're all figuring that out a little bit. But no, Phil hears that, and it's a valid question. But I think, again, as you guys all know, I've never been around somebody that works as hard as Phil Forte in my life. I don't know of anybody that's comes close. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. He's going to need everybody else's help too. I mean, you know, he's going to have guys find him and do certain things. But Hickey seems to have accepted that role. You know, I need to know where Phil Forte's at when I'm driving. So he's done a pretty good job of that. Still getting better at it. Still got some things to figure out. But you know, it's a fun challenge. It's a neat challenge.
Do you expect Phil to start?
Forte? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
What kind of difficulty does that make when you start two guys that small in the back?
None, because they're both as strong as physical. There's not a guard combination that we have looked that they can't match up with as far as size and physicality. There's none that doesn't mean somebody can't go out and score, but that's not a concern.
Coach, how's the Big 12 look to you?
I think it's strongest it's been. You know, we had a heck of a year last year, no question about it, to get 7 teams in. I think we're easily a 17-team league again for the fact that we only have 10 and we're going to play against each other twice. And from top to bottom, it's going to be stronger because TCU is going to be much, much better, much better. I know we've lost a lot, but the balance of this league, the whole league lost some NBA guys, but the balance of this league is going to be strong again. You just go through it. You know, I think you've got 3 or 4 teams at the very top. I think, and then you can throw about 4 teams in the mix or so, and who knows what's going to happen. But it's going to be strong. It's going to be very, very strong. It will be the number 1 team, number 1 league in America again, just because we're 1 through 10. Now ACC obviously has got a very strong league, but they've got, you know, from 1 to 6 or so they're strong. They got I don't know how many teams in it, but they got some, you know. But from balance standpoint, this is the strongest league in America.